Oh, thank you. Hey, como my high up there. Hey, hulani ku me dane. Igo ai kolo he. Hey, hulani ku me. I'm so sorry, friends. You want to keep the stairs clear. I don't want anybody to sort of scream. Yeah. So if you want to be up on the ramp's a pretty good spot. The farther away you get from the storyteller, the better he smells. That is absolutely true. Kapuana, no hulani, no hulani, Now that's a song called the Aulani Pula. And it's a special song for us here in Aulani. It talks a little bit about what we do around here. And speaking of our home here in Aulani, the story I'm going to share with you folks this evening is one of my favorite stories to tell here. I do love to tell this story. And one of the reasons I love to tell this story in particular is because this story involves a place you might be familiar with. It's a place down in that direction. It's a place called Pu'uloa. And Pu'uloa was a very important place back in the days of old. There are lots of local i'a or fish ponds. There are lots of beautiful white sandy beaches, lots of great fishing spots and surfing spots. So Pu'uloa served as a gathering place for the people of the Ewa district of Oahu. Now Ewa should sound familiar to some of you, because some of you are staying right over here in the Ewa Tower. If you are staying in the Ewa Tower, let me hear it, make some noise. Or if you're staying the opposite side of the Waianae Tower, let me hear that, make some noise. There's like 8 people here. All right, let's try again. Anybody staying in the Ewa Tower, let me hear it. Anybody staying in the Waianae Tower, let me hear that. Anybody not staying here needs to be escorted off? Yeah, your secret is safe. It's a free program. So these two towers, Ewa and Waianae and Ewa, they get their name from 2 of the 6 moku, or traditional land districts of the island of Oahu. Here in Aulani, we sit between 2 districts, right? So to the west of us lies the moku, or the district of Waianae, which extends from us here all the way down to Ka'ena, the far western tip of Oahu. And to the east of us lies the moku, or the district of Ewa, which extends from us here all the way down to the place I was talking about, that place called Pu'uloa. Now, Pu'uloa, as I might have said, is a place you might already be familiar with. You might have visited that place. You might know that place by a different name. You might know it better as Pearl Harbor. But Pu'uloa, Pu means hill, Loa means long, one of the traditional names of that place. And Pu'uloa served as a gathering place for all the people of Ewa. They would go there to enjoy the sand, the surf, the sun, the sea, all the stuff you could do at the beach. In fact, there was so much to enjoy there at Pu'uloa that visitors came not just from Ewa, not just from Oahu, but visitors came from far, far, far beyond Oahu shores. There were so many visitors here at Pu'uloa that there was a very special protector of the place. And her name was Ka'ahupahau. And it was her job to keep the peace. I just put this thing down. One of the reasons I like to tell this story is because this story comes with a song. It's a song called Pupu Ao Ewa. Now, Pupu in Hawaiian means seashell, and Ewa, of course, refers to that district. But here, the song is not just about seashells. Indeed, the seashells are a metaphor for the industrious people of Ewa. The song talks about how those people would gather their Pu'uloa and shine like seashells in the sun. All right, thank God now. Now let me try this song. Listen closely for the name of our protector, Ka'ahupahau. And the name of that place I've been talking about, that place called Pu'uloa. Here we go. Pupu Ao Ewa. Pupu Ao Ewa I kanu ana kanaka ina e mai. Ai I ke kameo o ka aina he aina wa kaulana. Maina kupuna mai. Ala hula pu'uloa he ala hele no ka'ahupahau. You folks trying to sum up song about it comes out like right at the end, yeah? I know I do see it kind of fast. I mean, kind of tell how off key I surely am. But listen close. I go, try 'em again. Pupu a o ewa I kanu ana kanaka e na e mai. Ai I ke kameo o ka aina a he aina ua kaulana. Maina kupuna mai. Ala hula pu'uloa he ala hele no ka'ahupahau. Now, if you listen very close, very sharply indeed to that song, you will hear the phrase, ala hula pu'uloa, he ala hele no ka'ahupahau. And what that phrase means, basically, is that Pu'uloa was Ka'ahupahau's home. And she knew every nook and cranny, every corner of the place, every grain of sand, if you will. Now, Ka'ahupahau, our protector, she wasn't just any person. In fact, to be quite frank with you, she wasn't really a person at all. She was a very special Mono. That is a good vocab word to learn. All right, I need your help, your friends. Say, hola, pili mai, repeat after me. Mono. Oh, lay it on me. Mono. And that is how you say shark in Hawaii. And she wasn't just any old Mono either. She was the queen shark of all. And she was our protector, our defender there. In order to keep the peace amongst all the visitors that would come there, the visitors from the skies, the visitors from the seas, the visitors from the land like us, she had some rules that she made sure everybody would follow. Kind of like the rules you folks might have at your house. In fact, she had 1, 2, 3 rules of the road. And these are kind of important, so I need you to hold pili mai. I need you to repeat these after me, okay? Okay! All right, rule number 1, take care of each other. Yeah, take care of each other. All right, rule number 2, always tell the truth. We're cooking. And rule number 3, this one was more for the sharks than for the humans. No eating people. That one is generally the easiest rule to remember. But the other 2 are pretty important too. So pop quiz. What's rule number 1? Thanks for jumping in. Yeah, take care of each other. Don't make you carry the water for everybody. All right, what's rule number 2? Always tell the truth. You can get it. Fine. What's rule number 3? Generally the easiest rule to remember. It's kind of quiet in the back section, friends. I may not want to go swimming with you. So following these 3 rules, everybody at Pu'uloa got along, or at least they did. Until one day when a malevolent Mono came to visit. A mischievous shark named Mikrolo. And Mikrolo came all the way from the big island of Hawaii, and he didn't come to follow any rules. Oh no, he came to cause some trouble. He came to fill his belly with people! Ah! Now you might know that's an old Hawaiian custom that we bring a whole kupu. We bring a gift when we go visit someone. So one of the ways we take care of our hosts is they take care of us. Oh, that sounds like one of the rules, yeah? What's rule number 1? And that's the first rule that Mikrolo broke. As he brought no such gift for his host, Kaupahau, he just lurked outside the harbor, sniffing, smelling all those tasty-looking people inside. Kaupahau, she noticed him out there. And she called out to him. She said, "Hui, what are you doing out there?" "Oh, nothing," replied Mikrolo. "I'm just admiring all these tasty-looking crabs." Yeah, crabs! Well, Kaupahau, she was no dummy. She could tell from that sly look on Mikrolo's face that, well, he wasn't talking about crabs, was he? Indeed, he was lying, which of course breaks rule number 2. What's rule number 2? And that's the second rule that Mikrolo broke. As if lying itself weren't enough, he was lying about eating what? Which of course breaks rule number 3. What's rule number 3? Oh, we can do better than that. What's rule number 3? Yeah, there it is. That's 1, 2, 3 strikes. It was time to kick Mikrolo out. So Kaupahau rallied all the people of Ewa together, gathered everyone there on the beach, and she had the fishermen in the area go out and lay a series of long nets stretching all the way across the harbor there. Now Mikrolo, that mischievous Mono, he had traveled all the way from the big island of Hawaii, all the way here to Oahu, all the way to the harbor there in Pu'uloa to get some dinner. He wasn't going to be stopped by some flimsy nets. Oh no. He was a very hungry and a very determined Mono, and he charged. And he tore through the first net, and he tore through another, and another still, until finally, only one single solitary net remained. The net with the smallest eyes. And that was the one that caught Mikrolo. The people of Pu'uloa, they rallied together. They grabbed onto that net, they pulled. They dragged that giant shark up onto the shore where they left him to dry out in the hot, hot sun. The sun was so hot that day that the giant Mono shriveled up in its heat, getting smaller and smaller and smaller still, until finally all that remained of Mikrolo was his tongue, sizzling there on the shore. The people of Pu'uloa, they're back to their normal life, back to their fishing, their surfing, their sandcastle making, and when a little Ilio, a little dog came cruising along, just a little beach dog. The dog noticed something on the shore, he circled it, because that's what dogs do, they check stuff out. He pawed at it, he sniffed at it, he tasted it. Now what do you folks think a hungry little beach dog would do with a nice, tasty, meaty, savory morsel of shark tongue jerky like that? That's exactly what he did. He ate it up. And that would seem to be the end of Mikrolo, no? Except not quite. You see, the sun that was so hot that it dried up that giant shark, it was hot enough to make that little dog want to go for a swim. So the dog ran down the beach, ran down to the edge of the water, and then he jumped into the ocean. But when he did, something began to change. The dog's body began to grow. Its legs began to shrink, its face changed shape, elongating. Its skin turned gray. and out of his back sprouted, bing, a fin. You see, even though that giant mono had shriveled up in the heat of the sun, all of his mana, his spiritual power, the essence of his being, well, his mana didn't drop with him. Instead, it concentrated to what remained of the shark, namely his tongue. So the little dog ate up the shark's tongue and then jumped into the ocean, back into the shark's home. The mana of the shark overtook the dog. And that little Ilio, that little dog, became that giant mono, that big shark. Mikololo had been saved by his tongue. Now, even though that mischievous, malevolent, monstrous, murderous, man-eating mono called Mikololo had escaped with his life, he was smart enough to know that it was time to leave town. And he left the harbor, and he swam all the way back to his home at the big island of Hawaii. Let me try that song one more time. Poo-poo, eva I kanu, ana kanaka e nawe mai. E ike I kameo, o ka aina, he aina wa kaulana. Maina kupuna mai, ala hula pula, he ala hele no kapa. That's a pretty famous song where I'm from. I'm begging if you're here to somebody out there. There's another version with English lyrics, not quite a translation. It goes like this. Pearly shells from the ocean, shining in the sun, covering the shore. When I see them, my heart tells me that I love you more than all those little pearly shells. Ala hula pula, he ala heleno ka. Thanks so much for enjoying here at the Circle of Life. There'll be more stories in your futures, friends. But right now, I myself, I gotta go change more light bulbs. And nothing helps an uncle change those light bulbs more than having his own traveling, if somewhat fiery assistant. So until we meet again, ahui ho akuno. Have a wonderful evening. Mahalo.